We are live on Facebook on the Berkeley Slam page.
What up, Facebook?
We're live on Oakland too. We're live on.
Yo, what up, Oakland, Berkeley Slam? We live.
We're live everywhere.
Hey, we live everywhere. Well, how y'all doing? Oh, I look ugly without the glasses. Let me put these back on. Welcome to the Berkeley Slam. We are right here on Zoom every single Wednesday, and we got another kick-ass slam for y'all tonight. But first, today's show is brought to you by our supporters over on Patreon and viewers like you. This show, while super rewarding, still has to abide by the merciless rules of capitalism, and every contribution given to us helps Rich Oak Events plan, budget, and ensure that we are paying our feature artists, supporting local fledgling writers, and providing a space for the East Bay community to enjoy live art. So thank you to Jessica Kostick, Emily Chow, Kalalili, and Renee Edmonds. Thank you in particularly to Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Kalalili for being regular patrons. Thank you to Jessica Kostick for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops, and a special shout out to Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center. If you enjoy what you are seeing or just love the arts, head on over to patreon.com/richoakevents. There you can sign up for different tiers of support. Any contribution you give us helps us meet our goals, pay venues, and give back to our community. If this interests you, please head over to patreon.com/richoakevents. But Colin, what if I can't donate on a monthly basis, but I still want to support you with a one-time cash donation? I'm so glad I did you ask. You can check us out on Cash App at #RichOakEvents or at Venmo at Berkeley Salam. And you can give a one-time donation. You can give up to $1, from $1 all the way up to $1 million. If you want to donate $1 million, please write that check out to Colin Edmonds. I will make sure it gets back to the right place. But most importantly is that all of your support really goes a long way to help us continue this amazing work that we've been able to do across the entire pandemic. Thank you so much to all of our supporters, and we hope that y'all out there will become one of our family members as well. But now on with our show. Today we have a poetry slam. For those of y'all who do not know, a poetry slam is a competition. We have judges who will be scoring our poetry tonight, and we have poets who will be doing poems. And because this is a competition, we do have a few rules. Number one, for our poets, y'all have a few rules. No props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, but most importantly is your time limit of 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds. If you go over 3 minutes and 10 seconds, you will be deducted by our scorekeeper, L. Everybody give it up for L doing math on a Wednesday night. Gang, 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 gang. Hey.
Fuck math. Love you all.
If you go over 4 minutes, you will be muted by our master of ceremonies. Yes, master of ceremonies, Tino. I'm sorry, I don't want to get the live stream taken down. But Tino will mute you and it'll be super awkward. I guarantee you.
It goes a little something like that. So you see, that's how awkward it sounds like and looks like.
Why the fuck did you mute me?
To prove a point.
Anyway, you're going to be muted, and you're not necessarily going to know you're going to be muted. You're just going to hear me start talking, and it's no longer going to be the middle of your poem. It's going to be the end of your poem. And then I'm going to have to go up there and be like, sorry, we ran out of time. Fuck linear time. It's gonna suck. So let's keep things under 4 minutes. And before I forget, we have our time-honored tradition. It is not a gimmick. It is a tradition, and that is a word of the day. Our word of the day is bamboozled. Bamboozled. What is the definition of bamboozled? Could someone help me out here?
On your host checklist?
It's not on my host checklist.
It's when you're boozled by Bam.
Okay, bamboozled, I do believe means swindled in a very surprising way.
It means to be fooled or cheated by someone, confound or perplexed.
Yes.
It's past tense. It's a verb.
Yes, it is a verb, bamboozled. So if you use the word bamboozled or bamboozle or bamboozling or bamboozology, the study of bamboozle, or any version of the word bamboozled in your poem, you will be given an extra point. Judges, you do not have to worry about that extra point. Our scorekeeper will take care of it. Speaking of judges, you have one of the hardest jobs because you have to judge all of the poems openly. Judges will be scoring our poets from 0.0 to 10.0. 0.0 is the worst piece of shit you have ever heard in your life. It is a poem that is worse than finally getting your baby to sleep at 3 a.m., laying down in bed, closing your eyes for half a second and your alarm goes off. All the parents out there know what I'm talking about. But it is worse than that. You would honestly rather die and take everyone you love with you than listen to that poem again. A 10.0 is the best thing you have ever heard in your life. It like cured cancer. It like saved your grandmother's life when she was a little child. It went to the future and came back with futuristic technology and then changed the past so that we weren't dying from an eventual heat death of the world. And honestly, after reading this poem, you would rather die and take everyone you love with you than live in a world where no other poem is going to meet that standard. Point being, there aren't many zeros, there aren't many 10s, score accordingly. We have this disease going around in the slam community. It is not coronavirus, it is not these hands, it is score creep. Score creep is when, as the night goes on, and you may or may not be sipping, you may not be smoking, I've been drinking, and poetry starts to magically sound better. Don't do that shit. It's not fair to the poet who had to go first. So to help you with that, we're gonna have to sacrifice someone to get you ready for poetry. If you like them more, they are your calibration poet. You're gonna score them as if they are in the slam. And if you like the people who come after more, score them higher. If you like them less, score them lower. We just really ask that you stay consistent. And next, we have rules for the audience. Yes, there are rules for you too. First, like, share, and subscribe to our Instagram and Twitter at Berkeley Slam and our Facebook at the Berkeley Poetry Slam. We have a lot of content on there. We share all our live streams. So if you miss a show, you can keep up to date. Even if your show is in person, you can still see it and be alerted to when there's a happening. So please tap in. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bay Poets Unite. Gang, 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 gang. Some of the poems you see tonight may have videos on our YouTube page. Go subscribe. Your next rule, comments on the live stream. Let these poets know how much you love these poems. Be more enthusiastic than you would be in person. It is hard out here in these internet streets spitting poetry into the void. Please fill that void with us. And number 3 is that be aware this is a freedom of speech zone, which means poets can come up here and say whatever the fuck they want. I don't know. Jazz Sufi does not know because Jazz Sufi no longer runs this event. This is our show now. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Berkeley Slam now. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. So if someone says something fucked up, you can let them know respectfully in the comment section. I don't want no arguments in the comment section, but we are here to facilitate conversations, and those conversations can only be had when we are speaking freely. So be prepared for that gang, gang. So on tonight's list, we have a really great list tonight. We have Bobby D. Barber, followed by Lyrically Gifted Brother, followed by Esperanza Cabrales, followed by Nicole Tracy, Dog Days Are Over, and ending the round. I'm sorry, I almost cut it off. Followed by Chev, and then ending the first round off with Sova. Give it up for everybody in the slam. Gang, 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 gang. All right. So with that, we have our rules, we have our poets. Are we ready to start this show?
Yeah.
One person's ready to start the show and the rest are not. And it's probably because they know that we need our sacrifice, someone to get us ready for poetry, to spill the blood. So on deck, we have our first poet of the first round, Bobby D. Barber. But coming up to the stage right now, give it up for our sacrifice, Reggie. Woo!
Yeah.
Gang, can you hear me?
Yes.
American Negro responds to Black capitalism. LLC Twitter is still chirping while the hood is still broke. The high school is using outdated textbooks while some nigga that barely graduated yells at me about NFTs. Something about Forex reminds me of crack cocaine and the way niggas keep doing it without any tangible benefits to its use. Someone who used to bully me wants me to join their pyramid scheme, but dressed it up as multi-level marketing because big words are confusing, but big money isn't. One of my friends faked her death over a cash flipping scheme that she started. Money did not save her because it wasn't her money. Money will not save us because wealth is not our inheritance. A system made to exploit us cannot be exploited by us. What's not clicking? The idea of capitalism as a white supremacist construct, or the fact that it was obvious that your mama never raised you right when you said 6 figures will save the hood? Was it 6 figures at the protest, or was that community? Did Uncle Sam tutor the neighborhood, or was that Shay from down the way with 2 degrees and still no career in her field? Is this your American dream? Chai lattes and a build TikTok for breakfast? When your personhood is considered capital, the ism belongs to someone else. Are you bamboozled by something? The master's tools will never fix the slave quarters, and the big house would burn itself down before you could ever put your name on the deed.
All right, give it up one more time for our sacrifice.
Wow.
Hey,
That was fucking dope.
Not LLC
Judges,
Twitter.
it's your time to shine. It is your 15 seconds of fame. Please send your scores over to our scorekeeper, L. And as we are getting those scores, and I would just like to remind the chat, if y'all could please help out our scorekeeper, when you hear the word of the day, drop the words word of the day or WOD, aka WOD, in the chat. Celebrate the word of the day just so that we can help keep track of who's using it, because sometimes it's hard to keep track while you're doing math for other scores. All right. But now we are ready for our show. I'm really excited for tonight. It's going to be a kick-ass show. On deck, we have a Lyrically Gifted Brother, but coming up to the stage right now, give it up for Bobby D. Barber.
Thank you, Colin. And Reginald, that was great. I loved it. I really enjoyed that. So my name is Bobby Barber, and I've been writing for 22 years. I hope to inspire others. I have never been easy to understand, therefore I'm easily misunderstood. And I believe that you shouldn't follow the rules. You should create rules where you can always win. I have 4 poetries published right now on Amazon Books, and I hope that you guys enjoy this one. If you want to follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my YouTube, it's Barber's Wellness Poetry. So this is called Good Dreams. I'm holding a warm cup of coffee and sipping with you. Imagine we had our favorite brew. Inhale one last breath to give you life. Red roses and wine on a sunset night. My likeness of hope for romance was sent. You took a hold of my heart the day we met. I'm in love with the angel, so haven't slept. Your sweet kiss awakes from pleasantness. You captured my soul in half the time. Now it's yours, it's not mine. Inside asleep, bamboozled, outside with dreams. Stung by a bee, I enjoy the sting. Make it more believable. Feel better for not doing exact. Help me look in the mirror, but don't cut my hand on the glass. Crash in my dreams when I need peace. Unlatch the door and kiss me sweet. Without you, my heart skips a beat. You're the reason I can't sleep. Dreams.
Ooh.
All right, give it up one more time for the poet. Gang, 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 gang.
Thank you, thank you.
And L, do we have a score for that last poet? If you could send that in to me as soon as you have it. But we can move on with the show. On deck, we have Esperanza Cabralas, but coming up to the stage right now, give it up for lyrically gifted brother. Woo!
When my name is called on slam night, I wonder if the same thoughts that are going through my head is going through the minds of other poets as they approach the mic. Like, don't go overtime. Whatever you do, don't forget your lines. But there's one that crosses the rivers of my thoughts more than others. Besides, for take your time, articulate your words. The most important one for me is, Lord, don't let me stutter. You see, a stuttering disorder disrupts your flow of speech with silent pauses or blocks, which means when I'm slamming, I'm not just battling poets for scores. I'm battling this body, hoping that when my words attempt to exit, it doesn't close the front doors. When I hear the phrase, say it with your chest, I wish I could do just that, so my words wouldn't trip over the hurdles placed on my tongue right before the finish line of my lips. Do you know how it feels to have your body bamboozle you and press pause and play at the same time? It's like a DJ turning your tongue into a turntable, remixing and scratching every line. I think I'm the only poet that shakes in fear when the crowd screams rewind, because if I do, the poem that's on play and the tape deck of my throat might just pop. I once stuttered so bad in a job interview, I just stopped. After laughing, the interviewer said, don't worry, it's okay, but we'll wait 90 days to submit another resume. Do you know how it feels to have the truth play dress up as lies? To hold a conversation with a person with the look of, I don't believe you in their eyes. Do you know how it feels to have people mock the way you talk? A disorder that hits your words in the legs with a sledgehammer, crippling the way they walk down a runway of your mouth. My words sometimes hide in the shadows of my jaws because they are too afraid to come out and be seen by the ears of other people. I've wondered, how can humans be so evil and add laughter to a problem all my life I've been trying to subtract? I once prayed to God and asked them, can I give this life back or exchange it for another? Because this stutter is a suicide bomb blowing of every conversation I attempt to tell, as if these words are non-religious infidels. But this disorder will not depress and define me in the slums of shame. You will not find me, because someone out there needs these words, these poems that soothe the scars of everyday life needs to be heard. These poems that give strength to the tired and weakened. They are people who turn to poets for motivation, who get inspired when we speaking. So this poetic gift I would cherish like any other. As for the people who laugh at the way we talk, please have love for people that stutter.
Let's go.
All right, give it up one more time for the poet. Gang, 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 gang. And for reference, our sacrifice Reggie had a score of a 28.9, and our last poet Bobby D. Barber had a score of a 26.2. Give it up for the poets and not the scores. Gang, 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 gang. Judges, stay consistent. Y'all are doing good so far, doing your job, stay consistent. All right, and if you out here feel inspired by anything that you hear tonight and you're just like, damn, I really want to write like that person, or I want to figure out how I can do my own poetry, check us out before our shows. Every Wednesday before our show on Zoom, we have writing workshops that are free to the public. Check them out. They're really great spaces to write. Some poets tonight may have even have written the poem that they're sharing in the workshop or in a previous workshop. They're really good spaces to get creative ideas on paper. Shameless plug, back to the show. On deck, we have Nicole Tracy, but coming up to the stage right now, give it up for Esperanza Cabrales.
Woo! Mic check.
We can hear you.
We hear you.
A girl found me at 14 and invited me to her dad's church. No, that's not right. Her church invited her to find me, and my dad was finding God in wine bottles because of that story, you know, the one where Jesus turned water into war. I mean, anger. I mean, sober apologies and tear-stained cheeks. I mean, wine. Anyway, I was 14 and I just wanted to make friends that existed off the internet and outside of books, because nothing says friendship like trauma dumping and therapy. I mean, releasing your burden and giving it all to your Heavenly Father during prayer, right? Suddenly crying yourself to sleep at night is good because at least you're sharing it with God, who, friendly reminder, is always watching, like Santa Claus or the government, which also means you're never alone. For an extrovert like myself, this can be a comforting thought until it's not. Then all I can think about is every negative, hurtful, messed up, selfish, awful thing I've ever said or done, all the ways I might make future mistakes. I guess it makes sense why that year became the start of my anxiety. Sin is so hard to avoid, like those lasers in every heist movie ever, like the word hella being said by someone from California. You stand too close to someone, that's a sin, whether they're of the same sex, gay or not. That's one step away from sex, because there's no room for your friend Jesus, the guy that's supposed to be in the center, the root, and above all your other relationships. He just gets jealous when the devil wins, and I guess he gets a lot of L's, considering how hard it can be to be fucking perfectly. I mean, being virgin until marriage, death doesn't part, being modest to the point of obscenity, avoiding obscenities to the point of hilarity. Are you freaking fudging, bamboozling me? Avoiding lies, both black and white. Speaking of, have you noticed how minorities are a growing demographic majority, yet are usually in the back of the spotlight? Like God needs to explicitly state their anointing? What is this, the Old Testament? I was 14, my sin was building. Sorry, my anxiety was growing when I was reintroduced to a church building. I became part of a new family where I voluntarily did unpaid chores out of love and learned to quiet the side of myself that was an abrasive spike strip, curious what the view would be like to drive a different direction down a one-way street. Prayed, worshiped away my depression and grief, chipped at, polished away my imperfections that I could not see, not realizing what I was becoming. A few years ago, I left the church, unsure to where and from what I was running. There was this growing unease, that anxiety, a hill-turned mountain of doubt. And isn't that irony? My goal was faith the size of a mustard seed, as unshakable as a firmly rooted tree with the ability to move mountains, and yet not to make a mountain out of a molehill. But not until I saw its shadow did I realize my faith outgrew me. Or was it my doubts and fears? Either way, it's now been 2 years since my last visit. In my haste to leave, I left behind a few things and kept with me some beautiful, bittersweet memories of people I wish I could still love as dearly, but I did leave. And the church, they left me too.
All right, give it up one more time for the poet. Gang.
Yeah.
And our last poet got a score of a 28.9. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. If you see me bouncing, it's because I'm on an exercise ball. And anybody who works from home and has an exercise ball knows exactly how fun this is. And I hope everyone at home is having just as much fun as I am. But on to
Talk about it.
On to, it's really, look, it's a really good exercise. And it's a really, you said what? Protecting your spine is fun. Yeah, absolutely. I have scoliosis. You best believe I'm having fun on this fucking exercise ball.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, on the deck, we have Dog Days Are Over, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Nicole Tracy. Woo!
Go poet.
Let's go.
Woo!
Mic check.
We got you.
America loves everyone until they cannot make them American. You can't drop letters and have someone look more like they belong here. We were here, we were here, we were here. America wants first generation to mean first forget where you come from, first call yourself American and nothing to come before it. First forget Angel Island or Manzanar is part of your own family history. America wants to forget their own history of exploitative labor, systemic oppression, forget their foundation of selective freedom, selective justice, and violent racism. America wants me to forget, apologize to them instead of demanding reparations. We were here, we were here, we were here. America loved me as the model minority until it didn't. America loved me until I spoke up, until I stopped smiling, until I said no. I am here, I am here, I am here. America said they loved me as the news rolled with China virus, kung flu, and hate crimes. America says forget the yellow peril, forget we called you terrorist and traitor and not a citizen anymore. Just forget, just forget, just forget. I wait at the metro for my morning commute and a man sees me, thinks, outsider. Opens his mouth to ask me, did you see on the news? Orientals are facing discrimination because of the flu. And this is before the week in Atlanta and San Francisco and Indianapolis and New York City and insert city here, insert city here. And quiet. I do not try and bamboozle him and say, like, actually, I'm white. I hold my breath. I do not exhale. I do not cough. I do not tell him it has gone on for over a year now. He tells me he wants to witness violence so he can be the one to intervene and stop it. All I hear is, I shouldn't be afraid. I'm not the one he wants to inflict violence on today. I'm not afraid. I'm just angry.
All right, give it up one more time for the poet. Gang, 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 gang. And for reference, Esperanza got a score of a 30.0. Gang, 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 gang. Give it up for the poet and not the score.
Let's go.
All righty, mateys. I will be doing various accents throughout the night, by the way. I don't even know which ones I'm gonna do. It'll just be Russian roulette for us all, but we'll have a jolly good time. Okay. On deck, we have Chev, but coming up to the stage right now, give it up for Dog Days Are Over. Woo!
Mic check.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
What better queer rage than an ocean with prideful teeth? A mother who will drown a sunken body without preference. Sounds like shattered stone-walled bricks still burning a fireplace into your lungs. You might make my seafloor body, anchor body bag, and trench casket, but my bones will uncalcify into the dissolved minerals in your drink. I will fountain myself into your nourishment, a Eucharist for your cursed tongue, and I still won't forgive your hands. You sip and I die again. You bathe and I am reborn. You salivate and I hunger alive. My queer is boiling tsunami before it is burning casket, is corpse alive before it is dead, is undead wake before it is scorched corpse under your forked tongue. You all demon, no serpent sensibility, is ghost before it is holy. If being queer is loving your oppressor's ghost, is cradling neglected bones at trench bottom, then the ocean's trenched limbs must be queer. Etymologically, if to be queer is to ruin, then straight men must be queer as fuck. Those fuckers ruin damn near everything. And don't you remember water? Drowning is your body now, liminally filling your lungs as lifeguard pulls you shoreward, his muscled limbs anchoring my self-homophobia. How I wished they'd cradle my obliques, how I feared drowning inside them, both my body and his, queer like angled oblique, like offbeat polyrhythms cheating death. If to be queer is to cheat, then damn it, I'll cheat Western linguistics. I'll ruin that shit too. I queer your comfortable. I queer your comfortable. I queer your sofa. I queer your comfy ass sofa by never sitting on it straight. I would queer that shit by couch surfing Long Beach to queer a homophobic father's son. I heard you queer up to 40% of homeless youth. Their only ocean, a couch, surfing, comfortability, politics, and drowning. So to be queer is to drown yourself before anyone else can claim your bones. My first queer encyclopedia entry reads, to undrown is to be queer. I can only be thankful the seas left me alive.
Yeah. All right, give it up one more time for the last poet. Dog days are over. And for reference, the last poet, Nicole, got a score of a 27.8. Gang, 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 gang. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. Fucking with the poetry, that's what matters. Honestly, the scores are just a really good way to justify getting all y'all motherfuckers in a Zoom meeting to listen to fire-ass poetry. So you make something a competition, suddenly motherfuckers show up. But we are almost through. Oh shit, we're getting really close to our feature. If you know who our feature is, make some noise. Woo!
Gang, 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 gang.
Gang, 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 gang. And if you don't know, you are going to learn more on our feature later, but we still have two more poets in our first round. So on deck, we have Solva, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Shay. Woo!
Woo!
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
We a month removed from the holidays, so for the 24th time in life, I have been had, hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. I've been nice as fuck, and ain't get a damn thing this year. So I've decided that we're gonna rob Santa Claus. This year he gonna pay what he owe. I'm sick of that bearded bastard always skipping my house every year like we don't pay tithes. Like we don't bake cookies. I mean, a bearded white man who's been watching everything and coming back to bless you just for being nice never made sense in my neighborhood, but we learned to say our prayers anyway. Wrote our lists anyway because we wanted things. Hell, I wanted my mother off the naughty list. Want to know why she got to work every Eve, Xmas, and Boxing Day just fighting to feed this family. Want to know how many fruitcakes she got to make before her Jesus stopped skipping his birthday party. Hell, I wanted a bike when mine was stolen. I remember my boys found out who had it. Figured we all ride on him and let Jingle Bell rock till we found out his mama smoked it. So his bike turned her body into the chimney they never had. Now he just praying to get her off the cycle. I started playing ball in high school. I don't know if my parents thought it was the only way I make it out of here. They bought me one for 4 straight years. Maybe they just worked too many hours to know anything else about me. So for college, I moved out the South to a city where it always snows, hoping that it get me close to the privilege of a white Christmas. You see, it's hard not to be the Grinch whenever you walk in your shoes, feel like a green mile back at home. My father's chestnut skin was roasting like an open fire because 3 unwise men with stockings over their heads open fire, trying to take our gifts and his presents. I found out from streets that always seem to hear everything, but don't ever see nothing. I asked my mother why she ain't tell me, and she gonna tell me it's more important that I focused in school. Like, me training to be a good Christian capitalist still a bigger deal than our fucking lives. And I'm fucking tired of this bearded white man skipping over my house like we ain't paid up our fucking tithes. You see, Xmas is supposed to be a birthday party, but the Jesus I see getting no candles, just crosses to bear and burn under, more likely to be in a box by the age of 25 than to receive one on December 25th. No carols, just Cameron singing until sirens ringing. So fuck it. If we can't bring Santa to the hood, y'all, why not bring the hood to Santa? I went to the North Pole with a long nose, so everybody freeze. Had them elves looking like lawn gnomes. Lord knows the pain of people who done prayed for everything and gotten nothing. So this Christmas, my wish list, a hit list of rich men who sleigh ride to the moon just to skip the apocalypse. And every politician who ever promised a pot to piss, and I ain't taking naughty list names. I'm taking hostages. Load the bag, get the sleigh. Jack Frost and Fee in the way. Miss Claus under the mistletoe, then a kiss begins with K. Tell Kringle, the time for us to mingle. Shit was past tense. Give a fuck about your presence, and I got used to your absence. I've been plotting on this moment back when I was 7 years old. Boy, I came in your off season because I came for the cold. You see, a pressure make diamonds. My surroundings got the stress to make a chain here. Give one out for every time you turn a deaf ear to the pain here. Give out shine instead of shackles, like most of the chains that they wear. Because if we don't get to see Sunshine Claus, we're gonna have to hold the reindeer. And if we don't get to see sunshine, then we just have to hold the reindeer. I mean, wouldn't you come for everything if you came from nothing?
All right, give it
God
one
damn.
more time. Chef, gang.
Oh, fuck it.
Let's
Oh,
see.
Jim.
And we have a 29.0 for Dog Days Are Over. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, on deck, we have our amazing feature, Ali Collins. But coming up to the stage right now, give it up for our last poet of the first round. Give maximum love to Solva.
Wait.
I'm mad at men today. And I know some of you are probably thinking, what? Even me, Solva? I didn't even do anything. Yes, you did. You're one of them. And I'm willing to bet you looked the other way while your bro was doing some sketchy shit as soon as this goddamn week. You see, I know your type. The good guy. The guys who introduce themselves as good guys. You guys are the fucking worst. You cannot bamboozle me. I'm just trying to help you, fuckboy. I just want to protect you, asshole. So funny how quickly you want to turn it into the you asked for it, gentlemen. Your genitals are not a fucking monocle, so why are they the only lens you want to look through? It took you exactly one smile to defile me, and sometimes I didn't even give you that. So this is to the nice guy predators. Fuck you, Orlando. The nice guy I met who approached me about a Walmart MasterCard. He found out I already had one and spent the night swiping, tapping, telling me my chip don't work. Fuck you, Uzzer, my boss at the halal butcher shop who offered me his haram sausage while I was still in high school. Fuck you, Brandon. My nice guy ex-boyfriend grew up in foster care, would never hurt a fly. What? I love you. I'm paying your rent. The least you could do is suck me off. Fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you, Daniel. Fuck you, Omer. Fuck you, Nubian. Fuck you, Terry. Fuck you, Issa. Fuck you, Leon. Fuck you to all my mom's cousins, and fuck you to the ones I forgot. And God knows how many that is, because it took me 15 minutes to dredge up the ones I just said. Fuck you for every stupid graveyard body metaphor you had me write. Fuck you for days I sabotage eating disorder recovery because I don't want anyone to have anything to hold on to. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So what? I want to give a special shout out to the inspiration for this piece. The nice guy who just wanted to take care of me after I lost my best friend to suicide. The one who approached me after the poetry slam and refused to leave me alone. Said, oh, You shouldn't be alone right now. You need to be taken care of. I care about you. The one who targeted me at my lowest. Has been almost a year since you decided to post private screenshots of our sex life on Facebook. You tagged my friends, various poetry slam organizers. You tried to prove that you did not assault me. The screenshots are still up. So all you proved was that you can violate me out in the open every second of every day for almost a year, and no one can do a goddamn thing about it. You still walk away with a national championship. You're still welcome at every slam scene. You act like you're the victim. You refuse to take them down without an apology from me. So here it is. Fuck you, Zane.
All right, give it up for our last poet, Solva. Gang, 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 gang.
Yeah.
And our last poet, Chev, got a score of a 30.0. For those of y'all who cannot math like myself, that is a 30.0. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Okay, that's better. Okay, see, y'all fucking with me because my internet be fucking up and nobody said shit. So I'm like, am I even still in the Zoom? And for reference, we also have Solva's scores. Solva got a 29.9. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. And on deck, we have the second round, but coming up, we have an amazing feature. I've been reading this bio. I love this bio. In fact, I have to put on my like Academy Awards voice, like my announcer voice for this. As an artist, Ali is just beginning to build a body of work that spans a wide array of subject matter. A native Floridian and a proud Southern woman, Ali currently resides in Santa Cruz, California, where she works. Her career in sociology and advocacy for vulnerable individuals has spanned over 9 years in various capacities, culminating in her current position as a caseworker at local nonprofit that serves unhoused populations in Santa Cruz County. Let's give it up for Ali. Woo, that's not it. I just had to give it up for that just one part. But we still have more. Ali is very involved in the local poetry scene in Santa Cruz. She competes and performs slam poems in and around the Bay Area regularly. She has featured her poetry at various events, most notably Thirdhouse Books, local fire series in Gainesville, Florida. Ooh, shout out to Florida. We don't always know what you up to, but we love to see it. The Museum of the African Diaspora in San Francisco, California. I have also performed there. That's a really great space to perform. I'm glad you had that opportunity to be there. That's really great. Slam Jam at the Marsh. I have never heard of that show, and it is in Berkeley?
It was eaten by COVID and became
eaten by COVID. God damn it. I'm always excited to hear about new shows that I haven't been to, but all the new shows I haven't been to, they haven't been, like, the shows haven't been to themselves either.
Really?
RIP to the Marsh. That was, and Word Church in Santa Cruz. RIP Word Church. But all of these are great spaces. And in addition to slam poetry, because Ali's multi-talented, Ali has a diverse background in musical performance. Ooh, for classical piano, as well as music education. I'm sorry, I can't read. As well as music education. She maintains a small private studio for classical music studies, primarily serving special education students in the Bay Area, whom she has a particular connection. Ali is an advocate for Black lives, women's rights, disability rights, LGBT rights, and sex positivity. Her poetry reflects her politics. Everybody, please give a warm Berkeley Swim welcome to our feature, Ali Collins. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Berkeley, I have been waiting my entire life to feature at Berkeley Slam. Imagine my disappointment in early 2020 when I was asked to feature at Berkeley Slam, and then COVID ate my in-person performance. So I am beyond happy to be here tonight, and I am super ready to share some stuff with you guys. So let's just jump right in. An accounting of all the money I would have if I had $1 for every time a man wasted my time, or a bitch opens her wallet and finds it full of singles. I need to buy enough laundry soap to wash away the stench of his mediocre. I need an anthem, an echo, and an empty dryer. I need a prayer etched on his lips in the form of, I love you more. I need fabric softener. I need a pen with thicker ink, something to blot out how good it feels to belong to myself again. I need more quarters, more of the metallic clink become ringtone I am folding myself into. Baby, pick up the phone. I need a wedding dress like I need a domesticated gray wolf. I too am pretty and a bad idea. Shout out to my fiance. I need a haircut. I need more bleach. I need to stop letting her win every time. Wild things are hard to hang up like phone calls and pants with iron creases. Hard pressed to find much there now. I need a funeral march with fresh beats like track 9 on Damn. I need some water. I need a new reason to get up today. Maybe a new pair of socks. Maybe drink myself into another empty notebook. I need to pray on it. I need to put my thirst away. Locking the cabinet behind me, I need it, everything in you all at once. That is my first piece. Thank you. It's
Let's go.
It's so weird. The worst part about doing virtual slams and readings for the last 3 years has been I really miss an audience. So if you guys want to make noise, I'm here for it. I think I'm going to read next from my book, my first book. I say my first book because I can say after 2.5 years, I have a second book on the way. It's about to hit the publisher's desk probably next week. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. But this is the first one, No More Peaceful Bones in My Body. I have a limited number of copies left. If you are interested, just hit me up and I would love to get you a copy. Black girl navigates white space like punctuation, hides commas between her breasts, faces the sun and knows she's blessed by it. Melanated skin doesn't stop on the surface, turns instead to ellipses the breath, natural rhythm down to the very bone. When my father lashes out in the tongue he was born with, the humidity carries with it a palm frond song from Dreadlock Rastas. Sewn in with semicolon sweetness, a buffalo soldier doesn't stop marching. To the beat of her own drum, doesn't pause to feel the fullness of her hips when she swings them your direction, if you're lucky. Black girl makes your sentences, loves the way they curl her hair, perm rods in the form of predicates. Takes your logic and reason, gives them a little seasoning to taste, straight off the plate of Mother Africa, no matter where you come from. Answering the overconfidence like overuse of the comma, Black girls are the answer to white nonsense, always the subject of the sentence. That's one poem from my book.
Wait, where can we find it? Where can we find this book?
You can find this book in my DMs. We are on the struggle bus of not having a website at the present moment, but I have books and they are ready to go. So just hit me up. Instagram, b.alexandriac is my Instagram handle. You can message me there. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a pretty unforgettable name and face, so it should be fairly easy to find me. With that, next poem. Let's see, do you guys want something about Kanye? Or, oh, just kidding. Both of these poems mention Kanye. Do you want one that's a direct hit to Kanye, or do you want one that's a little bit more sneaky?
A direct hit.
Okay. Okay.
Give them that 2 piece.
Which economy, or a question for Kanye West, what exactly did you mean when you said one good girl is worth 1,000 bitches? I'm curious about the way you have named good girl and bitch dissimilar. Two different currencies, and yet they are the very same coin. If you toss me in the air, where I land depends on the day. What phase the moon happens to be in, the hour, if it is happy or if it is one for witching, if my crystals are charged. I land heads, I land bitch. Heavy steps like the toes of these boots are enchanted with steel, and I'm not afraid to use them. And when the hour is golden, when I am too tired and too softened to land harder, I land tails, I land good girl. More, I put makeup on today, wore paint to disarm your notion that I am not aware of who you are. And what is that, if not an enchantment? Heads, I'm trying to survive. Tails, I'm trying to survive. Black women have always armed themselves with things that men don't understand. We have to confuse the church in order to make it to the altar, hide our bloodletting for a swig of juice, a wafer. Good girls go to church, but bitches have their own communion. Call that bitch clique. Call that coven. You see, the bitch economy is a magical thing, meant to house the magical thing that is being all of this woman. My love affair with being alone with my thoughts seeks no infatuation. What is a bitch's exchange rate? What is the current dollar value of good girl money? Is it more efficient to pull cards in peace, play Nina loudly out of her open windows on shuffle? At what cost can you claim significance? If both good girl and bitch are in hefty supply, where does the wealth lie? This spell is for you, Kanye. This shit is homebrewed. Pink salt and oregano over your shoulder in the dustpan, locks of hair in the cauldron. My witch vibes stay dark magic. Dark like night, and me and lipstick baking in the oven beside ceramic pots for coconut oil dreams. This week, I have plucked poems from my hands like shards of colored glass, and I am tired. My creativity is the language of white noise and late nights, a spell from my empty apartment. I have evicted all that is not meant for my fingers to enjoy. Have welcomed the sound of the door shut with the force of a simple bye. I take issue with Kanye's religion, black by convenience, performance meant to claim spirit and holy to claim Jesus, the original feminist. I imagine that he too would whip out a lash for Kanye, defiling a temple more holy than his, this womanhood, this blackness. I'm mixing slow songs into sugar water, filling her cracks, the winter left with cool mint pastel versions of comfort. My pockets are filling with Riverstone promises. They weigh like the decision to try harder would, but still, I can't collect them fast enough. It's always raining, whether water or worry, my cups always overflow toward the pavement. I've always liked it best. When February and the frost came away in a heavy breath, I am the same. Melting into unrelenting sun, I break away in a twin cadence of effort. There is a kindred spirit in the wet pull of browning grass beaded with dew. My magic and my woman are all profit. Whew, water break. I still do my thing.
Woo!
Hell yeah!
Hydration.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm slow us down a little bit. We did a workshop earlier tonight, which I had the pleasure of meeting some of these fine poets and hearing some of their work, and I am forever impressed by the work of the Berkeley Slam and its organizers. You guys are amazing. This is my favorite slam. Thank you so much for what you do for our community.
Thank you for being here.
Leaving still feels like losing. Like how thinking of home and you are the same kind of torture. I read the same book now, sleep in the same old t-shirt, bathe in the same light from the lamp in the window. I remember when I gave you yours, when I asked you to promise to always let us fall asleep in each other's light. I remember when I stole this t-shirt from your backpack. Remember how you weren't mad, how you asked me to pick your favorite shampoo at the grocery store, then your kiss was fearful, afraid of the breakable, fearful of the end we always knew. This spell was temporary. Our goodbye took 3 days, and I drank your love in over the course of a 72-hour marathon, the strongest wine I could find. At the time, I had nothing on the way your fingers felt in mine. I gave you cupfuls of tears in return, made you laugh, made you mine again, if for a moment. How am I doing on time?
Oh, you're good. You can go for like another 5 minutes if you like.
Sweet. I decided to wage a warpath through the temples within me when I realized that their white Jesus had a problem with women. Prayer died on my lips then, a vertical necrosis, another wash, another sin, rinse, repeat, repent. In this crucifixion, I forget the chill of obedience. These days, you see, I'm a little too angry and a little too loud and a little too much like the women they warn you about. We do not accept unwanted invitations from angels. And there is no space for dead things here. I take my cues from my own holy mothers, Angela, Amanda, and their white Jesus says we become Delilah, not Mary, become Jezebel, never Martha, become the anti-virtuous woman. At the banqueting table, I stay hungry, stay aware as all women do, surrounded by pious men. At this Last Supper, I have my hands clasped around the alabaster box in which I keep my fucks given about what they think of me. There are no more peaceful bones in my body. When I dress myself, there are no more ankle socks, no more corded tie dresses tethering me to the pew. I'm not pressing my hair for white Jesus anymore. There's a new fire beneath my skin now. Folded between raw and sinew, my bones are all voice, all noise. Mayhem wrapped in my mother's tongue, a righteous indignation. She says, I am her mad magic child, and there is no lie in the fire within me. Still, I refuse to burn for them, become sorceress in exile, bamboozled, become healer, mother, friend, become enemy, somewhere between godless and goddess, a new holiness, both brazen and furious. I dare you to ignore my wings. And all of this to say that the minute I grew into a woman, religion all but left me. The scripture indicates that women should be silent in the sanctuary, and yet it is here that I learned to scream. Now, I think of God and men alike properly, scared of me, loud, strong, and too much like her, the true force holding heaven and hell together. I lost my religion, heard the offer of a dearth of things I didn't want, all of it soaked in someone else's blood as if I don't have enough of my own, and finally, with surety, I said no. I hope my parents still love me at the end of this poem. Shout out to my mom who is watching and definitely loves me.
Woo! Let's go, mama.
I think I have one more poem for you guys.
Let's go.
Ooh. Little hydration break. Shout out to lipstick. Shout out to eyeliner.
Yes, what shade is that? Let's go. Let's break down this makeup very quick. What is this? What are we using?
I'll message you later. Shout out to having good relationships. Shout out to growing despite all the things that are trying to force us not to grow. Shout out to surviving a fucking pandemic. Ode to being that bitch. Praise this aura that surrounds me like a second skin when he says, that bitch has an attitude. You're damn straight. What is a bitch supposed to have if not attitude? If not the audacity to walk down the street in a tank top, what exactly is a bitch supposed to take for her own in this world? Bitch, by definition, I own the world because I made it that way. That is to say that God made bitches in his image too. When you say that bitch, you mean a lot of things. That bitch is a fat bitch, a tall bitch, a smart bitch, a queer bitch, a black bitch is a scary bitch and a smart bitch. And in all of these contexts, a bitch doesn't play nice. This bitch gets something sharp ready. When you get too comfortable sitting beside me on the subway, I imagine the many ways the newspapers will report a bitch that goes missing. Party bitch doesn't make it home, at least once a week anyway, so what's another day for another bitch? This bitch is paranoid. Duh. What else is a bitch supposed to do with the time of the overwhelming feeling of inhumanity applied daily like her antiperspirant? Make no mistake, I did not come to play, and I mean exactly what you think when I say that this bitch is ready to cut you. It is a fact, on God. Remember that when I say this bitch, I mean this untouchable thing. Fine and strong, like the handle of a knife in a bitch's fist. Power to those bitches with blades that glint moonlight reflections. To the way the night becomes a thing to enjoy again after you show them exactly what you can do with it. Bow down, bitches, and be crowned with the kind of light that ensures you make it home tonight. Anything and everything becomes a weapon, especially when a bitch imagines herself an inspiration. Women get called bitches as an insult, and yet when I tell my bitches in the group chat about him later, they all scream, yes, bitch, in unison, as in, yes, bitch, you made it home. As in, yes, bitch, from one queen to another. As in, bitches like us celebrate life a little differently. We have to. Next time you refer to a woman as a bitch, remember that some bitches have teeth.
Let's go, poet.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Give it up one more time for our feature, Ali Collins. You said you have a book? Book?
I have 2 books.
2 books.
If
2
you hit me up
books.
next week, I have 2 books. So let's go.
How can people find your books?
You can find my books on my Instagram at b.alexandria.c. Send me a message. Tell me you want a book.
Gang. For all of y'all out in internet land, we'll be dropping Ali's Instagram handle in the chat so you can find her easily. Thank you so much for featuring. It was amazing. Thank you so much for leading our workshop. If you missed out on our workshop, you know, I'm not even mad at you. I just feel sorry for you because you really missed out. Like, that's not even like, you didn't even play us, you played yourself. It's a free workshop too. But all of our workshops have been amazing, and it's even more amazing when one of our features steps up and does the workshop. It's always an amazing experience. Yes, with that, I think we are ready to go into the show. Let me pull up my list. I don't have my list. Where's my bout manager leaving me hanging?
Give us 1 second.
All right, so while we're waiting for our list to get to go together, who's our feature next week?
Oh, I also have to get you that information in a second.
Damn, y'all just leaving me. I can't sit up here and talk about shit because, you know, my crew. What? I mean, I usually would talk about other shows, but I want to save that in the end when I actually have to stall for scores. If you're not already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Berkeley Slam.
Tell them to go
Colin,
support
how
Berkeley.
can I support these wonderful shows?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for asking, Nicole. The ways you can support this show is by checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/richoakevents or checking out our Cash App at #richoakevents or checking out our Venmo at Berkeley Slam. Gang. I almost says gang. Please don't copyright our shit for this. Please don't.
You got your list right there.
All righty. I'm not looking at the score sheet. I don't know how close these scores were, but I'm gonna assume that they're very, very, very close.
They were absolutely close.
Yeah. We have a really close really close scores. Our top 5 poets will be in the next round, going in reverse order of appearance last round. So if you went first, you'll be last. If you went last, you'll be first on some Bible shit. But our poets will be reading in this order. We have Solva, followed by Chev, followed by Dog Days Are Over, followed by Esperanza Cabrales, followed by Lyrically Gifted Brother. Gang, 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 gang. And shout out to Nicole Tracy and Bobby D. Barber. Even though y'all didn't make it into the second round, it was absolutely fire. In fact, there was a little bit of confusion on the list, and I saw, I'm not going to say whose name, but I saw one of your names originally, and I was getting ready to say it, but it got changed. And that usually means scores were extremely, extremely close. It's been a really good night so far. Let's get it kicked off with another amazing round. No feature. We're doing slam, no chaser tonight. So on deck, we have Chef, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Sova. Woo! Woo, woo,
woo. I did what I could to protect myself from the water and all it's expected to conceal. I am terrified of drowning, so I conjure community from kiddie pool. Turn this ocean from ecosystem, from bouncy, from open to barren, to sterile, to safe, and yet sorry. You can still drown in shallow water if someone is holding you down. The word stop spills out of my mouth like broken faucet drips again, floods the room. I hold my breath, realizing it was never really mine to hold. Like everything else, my survival is just another favor gifted to me from the kindness of someone else's heart, at the mercy of someone else's hands. I'm getting dressed. Your grin illuminated by your phone screen, the text reads, guess what I just did in a motel room? Turn my assault into conquest. Spectacle. Every slam needs an audience and a winner. Judges decide it's you. Take the stage, leaving me to resuscitate myself. Blocking you on Facebook doesn't stop it from advertising your features. Using stolen poems does not strip you of your accolades, titles, positions of power. Reaching for my pussy during the slam is not the only way you get to score at my expense that night. And reporting you won't stop them from inviting you back to finals. Doesn't stop you from taking nationals. And I was told not to write about this. How the beloved poet could become trigger warning for every place I'm afraid to go back to. Call it cancel culture, not accountability. Flirting, not assault. One mistake and not rape. Call them family. Poet, activist, not someone who can't keep their hands off what does not belong to them. Describe our closeness in blood is thicker than water, but isn't every family the same? Don't we always defend our most predatory member? Blame the most vulnerable? This is not the first time I have trusted my community and had it fuck me without my consent. More than the rapist reputation longer than I do for my virginity. It's been nearly 2 decades and my eyes are still bloodshot from chlorine and nights I spend terrified to close them. So now I write my story in fractions. Worried about who could trace it back to who, not the traces of them still embedded in me. Pressure myself to win so that maybe the value of my words will finally be enough for people to actually listen to them, listen to me, listen to us. This is for every leaky faucet still running. Too afraid to make waves, to reclaim their own breath. This is for us learning to float.
woo! Give it up one last time for Sova. Gang, 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 gang. Judges, I know it's been a few minutes, but you know what to do. Send your scores into our scorekeeper, L. Y'all have been amazing. I haven't given the judges enough credit tonight. They've been doing very well and staying consistent. Shout out to y'all. Keep that shit up. Don't give me a reason to start talking shit now. All right. On deck, we have Dog Days Are Over, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Chef.
Let's go, poet.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Me.
Okay, can you hear me now? Because I can't trust the headphones.
There you go.
Yes, we hear you. Dr. King once said that if it falls your lot in life to be a street sweeper, you go forth and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, like Beethoven composed music, the way Shakespeare wrote poetry. Just be the best at whatever you are. Take pride in your work, because depression comes. There's no pride left to take. You see, 23 years ago, it felt my lot to be a nigga. 3 years ago, it felt to be a dropout. 2 years ago, it felt to be homeless. I felt a lot. I starved so much, my body turned broomstick hell. I cried so much, my body turned mop. And so it felt my lot to be a poet. I slammed for food money, sometimes in packed venues, most times in packed train cars, all times in ugly mirrors, just trying to see myself be good at something. I fell in love with my train car stage. Some days I wanted to stand on the tracks and give it a kiss at full speed. I'm Michelangelo, the smile on my jaw that felt like graffiti. Hoping to be arrested for vandalism because they served 3 meals a day in prison. I performed in only the most gentrified of areas to avoid anyone I knew. Places where everybody's favorite poem, just something about Black kids dying, painting strange fruit the only way I knew they'd feed the starving artist. So I turned my notebook pages back into the trees we hung from, just hoping that the fire would keep me warm at night when I slept. On that train, a white woman hands me $1, turns to her daughter and tells her I'm the most talented bum she's ever seen. Better than every hoodlum rapper on that train yesterday. And I wondered how pretty I must have made both of our deaths sound. Wondering if plucking bodies from pavement to make my meal make me a street sweeper or a vulture, where my thoughts keep getting drowned out by the growls in my stomach saying, get through the poem. I turn my notebook pages back into the trees we hung from, hoping that they'd protect me somehow, because that night, 2 guys on the subway pulled a knife on me, and I became jealous of my shadow. I was able to disappear in times of darkness. They left nothing but darkness in my pockets after taking my pride, my cell phone, and some white woman's dollar. Do you know what it is to lose everything when you've already had nothing? The police asked me if I was on the way home at the time of the robbery, and I don't know how to tell them that this was a home invasion, that I'm so broke I'm broken into, that this body be larceny stolen from a person with reason to live, that I am a street sweeper in a desert, and the dust in my lungs has made it too hard to pray. And all Dr. King got to say is, no matter what you do in life, you better do it like 3 white men. Capitalism say, boy, you look like the most talented vulture we've ever seen. My stomach say, boy, stop. You better get through this poem before you got to start in someone else's. My pride say, stop apologizing for being alive, because sometimes sweeping streets turns into cleaning caskets. The first draft of this poem is a train car kiss, a suicide note written on an ugly mirror, because depression came and there was no pride left to take. See, if you threw a brick through the windows of my soul, you'd have found nothing but time and a pen. So I wrote myself a future. I wrote myself here in front of all of you. I wrote the eulogy of everything that has ever tried to kill me. It says, boy, your name ain't Beethoven, your music, you ain't Shakespeare, you the poetry, you are not Michelangelo, but you are a picture worth looking at. You're all the pride that comes from finding all the art within yourself. You're the best at whatever you are. On the days when all that means is you're still alive.
All right, give it up one last time for Chev. Gang, 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 gang. And our last poet, Sova, got a 29.3. Give it up for Sova, not the scores. All right, moving right along on deck, we have Esperanza Cabrales, but coming up to the stage right now. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over. Woo!
Mic check.
We can hear you.
White people fucking love getting my attention in Santa Cruz. My brown boy glance a blessing to your savior complex. My gaze melding with yours like you deserve it. My presence, your opportunity at proving your colorblind intellect by crucifying my attention. My body a museum for your gawking gaze. My bare body jogging an invitation for your commentary like Damn, this is exactly what femme-passing people can endure every damn epoch they kiss the street with calloused feet. I'd be mad as hell too, shit. My male privilege crawls out my throat and is painted brown, but can still scream, never have I jogged and felt like spectacle just for existing. Old-ass white dude jaywalks to U-turn behind me in broad fucking daylight. I fucking book it. I am liminal, split in my anxiety. If my male is threatening and my brown spectacle, then maybe femme is museum in the eyes, putrid men all gawk and touch, consentless and dick brain. My cousin said sometimes she deals with this shit every single fucking day, no matter what she wears for armor. And for me, it's usually white teen sardine grouped into vans. Like COVID isn't still chokehold on America. I backpack my journey on the sidewalk and I'm yelled at to stay in school as if I'm not a fucking UCSC senior graduate. The only white people I give my attention to are 1, friendly strangers who don't talk with an edge of their voice at the sight of my melanin. 2, friends who are willing to listen to my narrative. 3, artists not colonizing the cornucopia of another culture's vibrant, color-drenched tongue, as if I only give my attention to any canvas that refuses to stay blank and pearly milk knows the absence of color means the bleach-stained erasure of millions of genocided bodies. Just minutes after drafting out this poem, I am walking down the moonlit shoreline street. Shores not loud enough to shelter my ears from the crazy yell of fuck from across the street. A fucking white dude triggering my flight, or flight as in a fucking lighthouse of a dude disguises itself as siren and tries beckoning me shoreward. Fuck, my ex-boyfriend suggests air horns to at least break some form of silence. Fuck. And I laugh at his wit. And I laugh at the stupidity of white lighthouses, and I laugh because I am privilegedly safe. I'm safe.
Woo! Give it up one last time for Dog Days Are Over. Gang, 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 gang. And after a time penalty,
Fuck a
our
time
last poet, Chef, got a score of a
penalty.
28.6. Everybody say fuck linear time.
Fuck linear
Fuck linear time.
Linear time.
All right. On deck. Oh, we're coming up to the end of the show. Ooh, hoity-toity. Whoop-de-doo. Look at us moving right along. On deck, we have our last poet of the slam, lyrically gifted brother. But coming up to the stage right now, give it up for our penultimate poet, which I have been told by the motherfuckers who read means second to last. Give maximum love to Esperanza Cabrales. Woo!
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I closed the poem I'm about to read. I need a minute. I'm sorry, like 30 seconds. Okay, I have it. Sorry. Do you ever close your eyes for a moment? Hold it like a snowflake on the tip of your tongue. It is delicate, so brittle and bright and unable to last. I count in my mind 5, 4, 3, 2, repeat it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm not sure why I started with 5. But I just know I'm not yet ready for the end, so I keep counting. I never let myself get to 1, let the pause wash over me. 5, 4, 3, 2. If I keep summoning a number that is not quite there, a ghost whispering that nothing lasts, then surely this memory, this snowflake feeling suspended in time will melt. 5, 4, 3, 2. Unlike the snow globe, it will dissipate and never truly be able to be recreated. I will long for the days where this feeling was commonplace, but even my longing will only be an echo of what once was. I wish I could hang my memories on the wall, let visitors admire them, feel what I felt, the warmth of my happiest summer day, the quiet joy of creative inspiration hitting at 3 a.m., my heart bursting within me when surrounded by all those I vow to try my best not to let down. I'll rush past the depressive, anxiety-filled displays, so people could know what I mean when I say the love I have for the people on these walls is splattered in this room as much as in my heart. Instead, I close my eyes and visit those moments, the ones I wish could be kept past when my bones have ground into dust. When stars explode and atoms reform into new creations. 5, 4, 3, 2. It may be hubris or conceit, but oh, if my memories could be caught and contained, if my memories' hall of fame were on display, their brilliance and warmth could not be ignored. I hope you understand why I'm trying so hard to stop these fickle moments, to keep them from fading. 5, 4, 3, 2. It is the hope and fear fighting in my chest, falling and flying, not quite balancing out. Turbulence in my heart. 5, 4, 3, 2. Because much as I wish against it, the truth is that every moment must come to a close. My greatest hope above all is that the end is just the beginning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it like a snowflake on the tip of your tongue. It is delicate, so brittle and bright and unable to last. Do you ever close your eyes for a moment?
All right, give it up one last time.
Let's go.
Gang, 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 gang. And our last poet, Dog Days Are Over, got a score of a 28.1. Give it up for the poet and not the scores, gang. Gang, gang, gang.
Poet.
All righty. We have come to the last poet of the show. So on deck, we have finding out who wins this money. But coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to lyrically gifted brother. Woo!
Woo!
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. My daughter's eyes pop open as if she is late for work and her words late to play. So I wrap my words in a firm, tired tone, inhale and begin to say, look, I put my deep voice on so she can know I'm serious. Look, it's night time and daddy trying to sleep. As the levees in her eyes filled with tears awaiting the breach, she responds to me. Baby shark, doo 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 doo, baby shark, doo 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 doo, baby shark. Trying not to laugh. I realize, as parents, we nail our own wants and needs to a cross and sacrifice. So the hopes and dreams of our kids can have life. I've learned to be a parent, you must be a master of multitasking. We play multiple roles in the movies of our kids' lives without acting because we are magicians. We make food appear out of thin air when a paycheck's pixie dust is gone. If the gas and light bill is past due, we find some magical way to keep them on. We possess the power of stretch, which is the ability to make one paycheck last from 1 week to the next. We don't panic when situations squeeze the air from our lungs, leaving no breath to retract, because we are go-getters. We go out and get it. And for our kids, we bring it back. I've learned that being a parent is a permanent position. with no one to relieve me. Yes, it's a hard job, but we just make it look easy. So this is for the parents who transform into on-call doctors at 3 a.m. when the kids are sick and can't sleep. The parents who won't allow food to occupy the vacancies of their stomach until every kid eats, until every family member has food in their mouth. The parents who gave us the world famous quotes like, I brought you into this world, you best believe I'll take you out. When grown folks talking, don't you speak unless you were spoken to. And my all-time favorite, go get me a belt, because this gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. You see, a parent will face dehydration before allowing their kids to thirst, because when it comes to their safety, we all live by the same motto: won't nothing happen to our kids that won't happen to us first, because sometimes tragedy bombard our babies with a barrage for the bullets, label self-defense, bringing the burden of bearing our blessings bestowed from above, and we are forced to lay to rest the child that we love. So next time my daughter wakes up at 3 a.m. and wants to play, I would grab her by her arm, I would look her into her eyes, and I will firmly say, Daddy shark, doo 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 doo, Daddy shark, doo 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 doo, Daddy shark.
All right, give it up one more time for lyrically gifted brother, and give a round of applause to Esperanza. Dog days are over, and Chev and Solva and Bobby and Nicole and everybody who performed tonight.
Yeah.
Gang, 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 gang. Wow, I think we have scores for Esperanza got a score of 28.3. While we're waiting for the rest of the scores, like to shout out some other shows in the Bay. We are not the only show in the Bay. So first off, there's the Berkeley Slam. That's us right here every Wednesday. Gang, 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 gang. Our usual venue is the Starry Plow. Also check them out. They're going to be opening back up soon. I'm not exactly sure when, maybe March. So keep up to date with them. Follow the Starry Plow on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Also follow us at the Berkeley Slam, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Next, every third Tuesday, we got the Oakland Slam Quarantine Edition on the Zoom right here on the internet. So follow at the Oakland Slam for more information about that show. And then we also have the Rich Oak Alchemy open mic every first and third Saturdays over on Instagram Live. Follow at Rich Oak Alchemy for more information. Do we have our scores? Do we have the total scores for first, second, and third place?
Not yet. Oh, you do? Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I was checking okay.
Okay, and for reference, lyrically gifted brother last poem got a 28.5.
Woo!
Oh!
Yo. All right. Why is this not working? Okay, there we go. Cool scores are coming in. Waiting on one more score. Waiting on one more score. There we go. Cool. So in third place, oh damn, these scores were close. In third place, winning a total of 20, I hope they are American dollars, with a score of a 58.3 out of a total score of 60. Give it up for Esperanza Cabrales. Woo! Woo! Anything you want to say to the people, to the congregation, to the squad?
I would like to speak to the congregation that we should decongregate and discover our spirituality in other ways, because church can be really toxic.
Did she stutter? She did not.
I felt that shit.
Facts.
Also, thank you to Berkeley Poetry Slam. And can I plug myself for something non-poetry related?
No, we only do poetry here. Of course, plug yourself. Do it. Obviously.
Okay, so I'm gonna do like bakery stuff, and I have my logo ready. I'm gonna do like baked goods for Valentine's Day. You can follow me at dreaming.eyeswideopen on Instagram, and I'll make a baking profile soon.
Look, y'all don't understand. I smoke so much weed, and I be high as fuck just wanting something made from bread. So like, someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a bakery business. Sign me up. Do you have a newsletter?"
Bro, when you high, you just want something crunchy and some cake made shit.
Facts. Okay, moving right along. In second place with a total score of a 58.6, winning 30, which I am told by mathematicians is $10 more than 20. We have Chef.
Woo!
Woo!
That was it. That was my statement.
I fucking love it
No
here.
words, just a victory dance. We love it. All right. Thank you so much for coming. It's a great time every time you show up. And that means we need a drum roll. So, in first place, winning 50 American dollars with a score of a 59.2 out of 60. Give it up for your winner of the night, Solva.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started to get high after my poem, and now I'm high. I would like to personally thank Time Penalties for this win.
Oh no!
Is that it? Do you have anything else?
That's it.
Oh my gosh. I really love the honesty. Everybody who's won a slam has won at least one slam, and it was only because of a time penalty. And we just chucked that one up to God. Thank you everyone for performing. Thank you to our team of Reggie and Tino and Elle and Becky and Chardonnay and Prophet and Nicole, who's also on our crew, and like all the folks who aren't here tonight but still doing amazing stuff for our crew, like Arvin. Who else isn't fucking
Lauren's here.
Alex, I gave Elle a shout out. I think that's the whole crew. But like without this, like honestly, when we first started Rich Hill Events, we were just, a few dudes from the hood, like who did not know what we were doing, and to have this crew being able to put this show on has been absolutely amazing. So I love to give y'all a shout out, and I'd love to give a shout out to y'all, because without y'all watching us, we would just be a whole bunch of crazy motherfuckers in the Zoom sharing our deepest, darkest feelings with motherfuckers across the world. But because y'all are here, it's art and it's a performance, and we fuck with y'all for that. We will be here next week with an amazing feature. Damn it, I just had it pulled up. Our feature is next week is KB Brookins. This is going to be absolutely amazing. You do not want to miss this feature. Thank you so much to Ali for featuring tonight. It was an amazing show, and as always, thank you for enjoying this hilariously awkward space that I have curated for the evening. We will see y'all next time.